Well, let's take a couple of calls here. Let's go to the warm line here. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, darling.
Oh, crap.
Good morning, Michelle.
Mark, it's my wife, Michelle.
Wow.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good, good. Now, what about? I guess if the men, want to be like that, then that's their choice, right? They want, their women to stay home and cook and clean, and so is it the man's fault or the woman's fault?
Is what the man's fault?
Well, if he wants to be the man that has the wife that doesn't work and cooks and cleans and raises the kids.
Well, I don't know what this has to do with sex, but if a man wants a woman to stay at home, she has to agree to it.
Yeah, Michelle, I don't know if you're listening.
The thing he better understand when he has a stay-at-home wife is that she has zero income. So given that women bring 70% of the divorces in this country, when she divorces him, they look at the difference between their incomes, and that's how they assign child support and alimony. So every time a man says, honey, I want you to stay home, I don't want you to lift a finger. Well, guess what? That just means that when she divorces him, he's going to have to pay the maximum amount of child support and alimony.
Michelle, you don't have...
Your book is about, you're saying that your book is mainly about sex.
Well, I have two books. The first one is not mainly about sex. The second one is. But it's the same principle, that sex is what drives all behavior. It doesn't matter whether a man and a woman are in a restaurant or whether there's a debate on the Senate floor. Men in the Senate are afraid to pass laws that will help fathers, for example, have more rights for custody. Why are they afraid? Because they're afraid to go home to their wives at night and say, honey, I just passed new legislation that's going to help fathers get custody of their children.
You did what? Wow, that's really saying that men are just, so you're just saying men are just absolutely
Michelle. I'm saying that men are wimps. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Michelle, I don't know if you were listening earlier or not, but Jack, when you were talking about, not working and stuff like that, Jack said he was going to put a total stop to that when he got home.
Yeah, he did.
I was talking...
I said to Ryan. It's too late for us.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Ryan training him to be this way with women. That's what I said. Before Ryan goes out on a date, we're like, okay, do you have money to pay for the dinner? And you're in his car. He's paying for the gas. He's paying for the movie or whatever. And
yeah, why?
Why?
Now, if you ask her out, you should pay. But
Mark, 1 second. Let me make one more point. And then my son goes up to my daughter just this past weekend, Josh.
Yeah.
And he goes, how come you always have money and I don't? And my daughter wisely turns to him and goes, because I have a boyfriend and you have a girlfriend.
There you go. So this is 2008, and Hillary talks about how women are supposed to be equal to men, but they don't want to be equal. They want to be
I think that women have come a long way, but I think the percentage is still small. I do believe that men make more still, even in the same positions.
They don't make more. You believe that, but you have no proof of that. In fact, it isn't true.
Well, that's what I've been told on the news.
You've been told, but you didn't even investigate it. It's not true.
Not
With
true.
42% more women than men are graduating from college, you have a lot of blue-collar guys now. The thing is that you're paid exactly what you're worth.
Now, if your husband gets old and doesn't give you as much sex, how do you get more sex out of him?
You find a new boyfriend. You just get a boyfriend
on vacation.
AOL and Woman's Day magazine last year did a study, a poll of 3,000 married women. 80% of them admitted to being unhappily married. Okay, my friend Susan Shapiro-Barash did a book about women cheating. She interviewed 500 women from all over the country. 60% of them admitted cheating on their husbands.
Wow.
Oh,
in New Hampshire, they did a study.
What's the percentage of men?
Oh, I think it's about the same.
Uh-huh.
But we've never been told that before. We've always been told that women are innocent, sugar and spice and everything nice. But the thing is that women bring 70% of the divorce.
I think they used to be until the men, they're just trying to catch up with the men, I think is what it is nowadays.
Well, what happened was when women were at home and they didn't work, they had no exposure to other people. But now that they're out working, they're behaving the same way as the men are. In my first book, The Man's No-Nonsense Guide to Women, what I basically say is men and women are the same.
So, I mean, basically what this book is...
that we're from Venus and Mars and we're so different. No, we're not.
So basically what your book is saying is, sex your woman as much as you possibly can to keep them honest.
Well, in my second book, what I say is
That's
that women
right.
are more sexual than
up.
men. Women are more sexual than men, and there's no reason to kowtow for it. There's no reason to pay for it. There's no reason to plot and scheme. Why do you think women buy all those vibrators? Do you know how many of your male friends have vibrators?
Male friends? Well, I would hope 0.
I'd be worried.
Only Jared's the only one we know of. But that's besides the point.
But the
Change that
thing
remark
is,
to
why
political.
do you think women have vibrators? Because they can't get enough orgasms. That's why.
A good point.
So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I have to pay for it, I guess, you're totally wrong. If the first thing you whip out when you meet a pretty girl is your credit card, you lose.
Jack, go ahead. Jack, do you ever barter for sexual favors with Michelle?
Do I barter? No.
Like you
because-
say,
No, because the older I get, the less equipped to keep up with it I am.
So she never says, if you do this, I'll
She
do
barters
this.
with me.
Really?
Yeah.
See? Well, you just proved my point, didn't you?
Now,
By
when
the
I was
way-
younger, yes, I used to.
By the way, it's never been different than that. Maybe she's just more vocal now. But don't forget, women are taught to downplay their sexuality.
Oh, she's very vocal, trust me.
Yeah, but and women in general, in our society, in our culture, are taught to downplay it. It used to be that if a woman admitted she even had any sexual cravings, she was deemed a slut.
Mm-hmm.
So women were taught, just keep your mouth shut, don't talk about it. Pretend you don't really enjoy it. In fact, I know women who have told me that when they go wild with men get turned off.
Really?
Because men are intimidated.
Oh, that's silly.
Wow.
But it's the fact.
They are.
All right, again, the book is...
I have 2 books. The Man's No-Nonsense Guide to Women, How to Succeed in Romance on Planet Earth. And the second one is called Under the Clitoral Hood, How to Crank Her Engine Without Cash, Booze, or Jumper Cables, which means you don't have to spend money on her, and you don't have to get her drunk.
All right.
But my website is thenononsenseman.com.
And that's where you can order the book, The No
You
Nonsense...
get both books there. The first one is available on Amazon also. But I also have written 86 articles. I'm on Fox News every week. I also do no-nonsense coaching, and I have a fee-based newsletter, and you can join my mailing list for free. There's lots of good stuff going on there.
All right, Mark, very interesting. Thanks
Jack,
for being...
I need to know, has he been married before, and
Yes, I have.
how many times?
I've been married twice.
I just wanted to know.
All right, Mark, great talking to you. Thank you very much for spending some time with us. We appreciate it.
Hey,
Been my pleasure.
All right.